post move inside, able to go one-on-one. They're not going to dig down and help. The only time Towson is really helping is when Quinerly or Jordan Harrison gets it on the floor and tries to create in the paint. Then they double down and leave the threes open. So you can really expose that one-on-one inside matchup with your post players if you can get something going.
So for West Virginia fans, you remember Jordan Harrison, of course. She's on the floor with Kyle Watson. And now Jordan Thomas, one of the newcomers, misses the free throw. Thomas, a freshman. Also on the floor, Sydney Woodley, a transfer from Long Beach State. And Zion Nugent, who came in last year but has redshirted the last 2 years because of injury. So getting to see Zion Nugent for the first time in a Mountaineer uniform. Almost a steal from Kyle Watson. Woodley. 10-second call. She didn't get the steal, but she forces the 10 seconds. So West Virginia gets it back. And just when you thought that last year's team was pretty theft-oriented, Meg, West Virginia goes out and gets Sydney Woodley in the transfer portal, and she had more steals than Quinerly, Harrison, and Watson.
Right, exactly. I mean, talk about fits like a glove. When you look at her defensive stats and what she was able to do, 8th most in the country with her 104 steals.
Great dish
addition
from Harrison. And Thomas loses it out of bounds.
Yeah, and I said Woodley before. It's Thomas inside at the post to get her going one-on-one, get to the free throw line. It just opens up. You can't cheat as much as a defense. You have to start playing honest, and that'll start to open up Jordan and Quinerly inside.
Jordan's getting some looks there as Thomas fouled and is out of bounds against Kyle Watson, who took a hard spill under the basket. A lot of folks wanted a foul. Let's see how she was pushed out of bounds. I don't know. May, your thoughts?
And you know, I'm still kind of baffled by the layup. I thought that Bristol really allowed Jordan Thomas to kind of have the square up, just put it off the glass and go up with it.
Jakite, mid-range. And Watson runs it down. 5 rebounds already for Kyle Watson. Harrison scoop shot to the hole. And offline. West Virginia just doesn't look in sync quite yet. Maybe a double dribble miss there, Meg.
Yeah, I think she was looking a little too far up the floor to her teammate there.
A.J. Jenkins pops. This is wide right.
Man, but look at the little hustle plays. Keeping it alive. Great job from Smythe Turner after a really miscued shot.
Jakite, and pulled in again by Watson. One-hand shove, and it's thrown away. A rare turnover from Jordan Harrison. She tried to find Woodley. Jakite takes it away. Now, this Towson team, Meg, is doing exactly what you said. They're embracing this opportunity. I didn't expect this game to be as physical as it is, and I expected maybe more of a feeling out period as you usually get in openers.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really nice job of taking care of the basketball. West Virginia has not. They're starting to pick it up a little bit here in that half-court offense.
Jakite throws it away. Thomas, who forced the steal, gets it back. Thomas cashes in on the offensive end.
And the Towson bench wanted a double dribble there, and if I saw it from the other angle, I might have agreed with them, but not too often you're going to get your 6'3" post on the open, dribbling down the floor to make her first layup.
Jenkins tries to run the lane. A foul call on Jordan Harrison, the block.
And West Virginia's just, they've got to be careful here. They're going to make some subs, but they're getting into frustration territory right now. It's a great play, completely playing up the front from Woodley. And Jordan Thomas saying, oh man, I've seen that glass a couple of times now, I can finally connect. And that's a good call. I thought Jordan Harrison completely stepped in front of the lane, didn't allow the space there to take the charge. Both players were moving at the same time. That's it.
Harrison takes a seat with a foul as A.J. Jenkins knocks home the free throw. And if those boos sounded louder than usual, that's because the WVU women's basketball season ticket sales double what they were last year. So we got a good crowd here on this Tuesday night. This is what had been a weekend crowd for many years here.
Yeah, incredible crowd. And you know, just because you come in ranked 16th, you saw what they did against Iowa, and I know Coach Kellogg certainly didn't want to go back to that memory. As you see, another miscue here from West Virginia on a turnover inside.
But you're right, this team won some hearts last year, and they're playing in front of the home crowd for the first time since then.
And it just goes to show you, with one missing piece here, or, you know, oh, you're ranked 16th, it doesn't matter. This is still the first game of the year. You have jitters. You're getting a little nervous no matter what. So they'll start to settle in here, but they've got to clean it up after this first quarter.
Time running out of the shot clock. Good defense from Quinerly. Forces a look from Shariah Baines. And a whistle. West Virginia gets a call. A.J. Jenkins picks up the foul. Highest preseason ranking for West Virginia since the 2017 season when they entered 13. Highest ranking in 6, almost 7 years for the Mountaineers. And you've seen the number 37 on the back of Cece Riviere. She's entered this game. Quinerly, oh, nice move to the basket, and she can't finish.
I mean, you can see it, you can feel it. There's body language right now. This quarter cannot end soon enough for West Virginia to regroup and get things situated, because right now Towson, they understood the assignment, and they are listening to Laura Harper right now, who I can tell you she's a pretty good coach, was a pretty great player.
A lob and a nice tip around. West Virginia gets the takeaway. Shot clock is dark. Quinerly gets it back from Thomas. She'll get the last look of this quarter. Off the pick, step back for three. A little long, and West Virginia's lead at 14-13 after one from the WVU Coliseum in Morgantown.
On the rim for West Virginia. Right now she's going to get probably a much needed breather, but you wonder for how long if West Virginia can't seem to take the lid off that rim.
She has the 1-3 for West Virginia in 6 tries. Woodley make it 1 for 7. Deja Bristol scoops it up.
And you know what, Eric? The way West Virginia is shooting threes right now, they're 1 of 6. I know that's typically not probably how many threes they would have taken this early in a game, but something interesting is it's a great charge and a great momentum builder there by West Virginia. Zia Nugent able to step into the lane and create some contact.
Nugent gave up the body big time. Deja Bristol.
Just a great job. You saw that West Virginia,
she took a hard hit.
Was a little bit behind there on that post, and she just stepped in nicely, ready to give her body. And that's somebody that's been hurt the past couple of years. No fear stepping right in.
Yeah, she took a pretty solid lick.
But something I've kind of noted about West Virginia is JJ even. It's a great way to get some points, get your momentum built, get to the free throw line after taking it to the rim there. This is probably not the hardest foul JJ's ever received, but nonetheless a foul and you get to the free throw line. But yeah, what I've noticed about West Virginia shooting right now, and something I heard Coach Kellogg say early in the week, they've only been able to practice in the Coliseum, I think about maybe 2 times in the last few weeks because of volleyball and other sports going on. So it is a big difference in terms of depth perception, the lighting.
It's an excellent point.
Kind of only see the glass, because you're seeing a lot of great shooters miss very wide and off the backboard. So that could be something that they're just making a minor adjustment to as well.
A lot of people here. You're playing in front of that crowd for the first time.
Yeah, that backboard gets awfully small when it's the bright lights on the court, darkness around you.
West Virginia looking to draw some momentum off the free throws. And a rebound from Riviere after the miss from Lee. Wide open look. Woodley can't hit. Mountaineer lead is 2. Early second quarter from the WVU Coliseum. Katie Lane to the hole, lays it in to cut Towson's deficit back to 1.
And that's a tough take from out on the three-point line for Cece Riviere to kind of backpedal, move her feet, and still able to get in position.
We're seeing West Virginia flex a muscle they really didn't get a chance to flex last year, Megan. That's depth, as Riviere short on the 3.
Yeah, that's a great point, because you're with the 2 posts in the lineup right now, you're not going to see that full court pressure. you're going to see more of a half-court defense and what they can do and how they can build defensively in that. Right now, Towson not having a big problem with that, getting their post to get out of position and getting to the rim fairly easily.
Sharia Baines draws the contact. And now subs for West Virginia. Boy, this is a team last year. I'm not sure that they had a set where they could sub 4 at a time like they're doing right now. It's going to allow West Virginia to be fresher later in games. And when you run the press that they run, that's going to be huge.
No, absolutely. And it gives you 2 completely different looks with the 5 coming in and 5 going out. Right there, you saw more of a tough post play on the offensive end, kind of pack the paint. Really don't want to extend and defend on the 3-point line with those post players, but now you're going to see the quicker lineup that wants to press, that wants to get that defense to offense mentality.
And Mark Kellogg told us a shoot around today that he's not going to be afraid to put 2 posts out there at the same time and go with a big lineup. And go small if he has to. He has those options now. Quinerly good at creating options. Misses that one wide. And she's somebody that I think once she starts to hit a couple shots, once a few things fall for her, so might the team go.
Yeah, absolutely. She scores in bunches, and I think you want to see your leader hit a few shots, and everyone kind of gets involved. But Towson doing a great job on her early, making her really redirect her shot that usually you see them fall as here on the other end, a little bit of a frustration foul, perhaps just a little too slow on that weak side. Turns her back to the basketball. That's basketball 101. Turns her back to the basketball. That lob pass comes right in over top, and she's too late to it.
Jordan Wakefield knuckled it up and draws the contact. And that's a second foul on Quinerly this quarter. So West Virginia, or this half rather, so West Virginia was 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. And they've got Quinerly on the bench with 2 fouls.
Towson can't play it any better than they are right now. I think rather than dictating the game the way that West Virginia usually does, now they're reacting. I think Towson's done a great job of dictating the pace of this game since the tip-off.
Harrison running the offense, gets a pick from Blackston. Space kick, wide open look, Sydney Shaw.
And you knew it had to happen sometime. That's just great penetration and pitch. West Virginia's had a few wide open threes. They just haven't been able to find the bottom of the net, but sometimes when one goes, you just never know how many more are going to follow.
And a 5-second call against Towson.
And this is where Jordan Harrison just does such a great job creating stutters, draws in 3 Towson players, and just a great pitch out to Shaw waiting on the 3-point line.
35 threes for her at Auburn last year. That's the second most on that team. A good addition for Mark Kellogg.
Yeah, that was something West Virginia, even with Lauren Fields last year, no one ever really got into a hot rhythm from that 3-point line. Great move from Jordan Harrison.
She's got the potential to get hot from anywhere. Up close from beyond the arc, Jordan Harrison saving West Virginia's bacon at this point. And now a travel call on Jordan Wakefield. It's either going to be a travel or a foul on somebody in that situation, and the travel was the call.
Really smart play there by Sydney Shaw. I loved hearing her talk about learning this defensive mentality when she came here from Auburn and learning from Harrison and Quinerly. And right there, I mean, that's going to make your coach smile when you're a 3-point shooter and you can come in and make a play like that on the press.
Mid-range J, a little long for Jordan Harrison. Watson pulls it in again. From the corner, Watson, why not? In and out. Harrison from 3. Blackston rips it down, and the putback falls. Kylie Blackston finally turns that possession into points for West Virginia.
Just relentless there on the boards. And
deflection from Woodley. She gets it back. Defense into offense. West Virginia, if they can do that, they'll get back to what they were doing last year. Became the signature of this team.
When you have someone like Kaya Watson that is just relentless on the boards and you can kind of stand around that 3-point line waiting for her to kick it back out, then you get a second and third chance opportunity. That left the lane wide open for Blackston to come right in. No one was even looking to box her out.
West Virginia can't cash in. They're losing out of bounds, but it goes right back to West Virginia. Steal, Blackston on the head fake. Harrison swings it wide open. Shaw buries the 3. Some energy for West Virginia on the Shaw 3. The Mountaineers by 8.
Hey, good rebounding, Kylie. All of y'all.
Hey, good board.
You want this?
Thank you for getting that steal because I was late.
I don't know if I was allowed to be up there, but I was up there. I'm good.
Hey, Dylan, give me that one. That one got more. You got the next one. Keep shooting that mother, okay?
I'm a crash every time. And I'm open with the pops too.
Pop?
Yeah. Because they're so worried about you who are already like up there.
No, you're good. Way to talk to me though. I was just mad because I didn't want to play with you.
Sometimes when we drive, if Kylie set the screen on us, the pop is open.
Okay.
She open.
Okay.
I know this is a low point. Yes.
Yeah, when I'm setting it.
Okay. Hit her ass. Don't slip.
Hey,
So
we
y'all
not,
be wide open.
Oh yeah.
we not letting them score the rest of this quarter.
I don't think I've slipped one yet. Huh? I don't think I've slipped one yet.
Yeah, don't start that slipping shit. Set the screen. Don't start it.
Way to board, y'all. Way to board.
I'm gonna want new towels.
If I slip and you
need
miss
new
me, I'm gonna
towel.
take it
I put some-
personal.
All right, a little better. Mostly because our effort and intensity on defense is a little bit better right now, right? That's kind of what's changed in the. They're not even getting the shots off because we're doing a great job down at that end. If they do get down here and we get a rebound, we need to get deeper outlets so we can go a little bit quicker when we do get a defensive stop. But y'all keep working on that end without fouling. Continue. We're moving the ball now, and that's what I like. We're getting open shots. Even the threes we miss, we're getting offensive rebounds, all right? So continue that. Late night. Is a little bit better right now, right? That's kind of what's changed in the. They're not even getting the shots off because we're doing a great job down at that end. If they do get down here and we get a rebound, we need to get deeper outlets so we can go a little bit quicker when we do get it.
West Virginia head coach Mark Kellogg is Mountaineers on a 10-0 run. Their largest of the night. They lead at 26-18. Meg, what jumps out to you at the stat sheet from this portion of the ball game?
9 points off of turnovers just here in that first couple of minutes. And they only allowed Towson 2 shots that entire four or so minutes, where at the end of the first quarter they were 3 of 11. So West Virginia's picked it up on the defensive end, and that's exactly in turn you start getting that momentum on the offensive end. And I think they're kind of adjusting to some of the rotations and seeing who fits where and what chemistry is working tonight.
12 turnovers for Towson. And it's tipped. It stays with Towson with 7 to shoot. That's one of the things Laura Harper said to us earlier this week. She said, we know we're going to commit some turnovers. You know you're going to do that against a pressing team like West Virginia. You just have to kind of settle in. And the phrase that she used a lot was good, quick mistake response. Bounce back quickly.
No, absolutely right. And the thing I always think about and tell players when I coach, another great defensive stop by West Virginia there. Smart play by Jordan Harrison to...
Shovels it off Samaya Turner.
But you never want to let one mistake become 2 and 3. You got to have a quick memory. That first mistake cannot roll into 2 and 3. That's when you start to let the entire game become affected.
Harrison with a move I think we've all pulled on the playground at some point. Sydney Shaw. Another 3. Heating up.
I think we're starting to see who Sydney Shaw is right now. And I love that she feels the challenge to play great defense with this team because she knows what they are capable of, so she wants to reach her potential. She's also going to show you what she can do on the offensive end.
Ooh, and a foul called, and I think it bailed out Towson looking to pick up the travel there.
Just great job coming off of a screen. Really a little bit wide there, but just such a quick shooter, able to get that off and really starting to feel it.
3 threes tonight for Shaw. That's got her at 9 points. Mark Kellogg reacting, watching that replay on the video board. Reacting in not a positive way. India Johnson misses the free throw. She's an 85% free throw shooter last season.
I didn't see it clear enough. Might have been a good call, maybe not. But that first free throw, what's that term? Ball don't lie? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not picking a side. I'm just saying.
There might be something to that with both of those
right.
washing out. Meanwhile, the West Virginia run has hit 13-0 as they've taken some command in this game after a while here in the second quarter. Deja Bristol with the drive against Blackston, and she traveled. One step too many and another turnover for Towson.
And a nice job of Blackston getting back. You always say, go to the spot they're headed. You know where she's headed. Get in front of Bristol, stay straight up, and allow her to make a mistake.
West Virginia outscoring Towson 15-5 in the second quarter. Nice dish from Harrison to the corner. Watson airballs the three. The officials say it. Now they're going to confer. It looked to me like it hit Blackston, and they give it to Towson. Fans don't like it here at the Coliseum, but from the naked eye first look, I thought Blackston was the last to hit that.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Handy Lee, a transfer or a freshman from Senegal, getting a lot of run early on. We haven't seen her in a while. Out of the Cleveland area's Spire Academy. Already 5 to shoot. Johnston needs to hurry. Maybe one pass too many, no. And at the buzzer, Sharia Baines ends the 13-0 run. That's the first points in more than 3.5 minutes for Towson.
Baines got that off extremely quick.
Woodley wide open, wide right. West Virginia just 10 of 20, or just 4 of 16 from 3 tonight. And 10 of 28 from overall tonight. A kick out. Baines, strong. Bristol. Nice find for Turner. Friendly roll. And a mini run here for Towson.
Slowly starting to put some things together, getting some garbage points right there, but the play before, taking the lid off the rim right there, getting that three was huge to get them back in this game. But
there's a big three from Jordan Harrison.
And, you know, I thought a lot of times last year she didn't take as many shots as she could, as that's going to be off on West Virginia.
Tough spill for Kaya Watson. Yeah, Harrison is a very others first point guard.
Yeah, and so many times when I see her shoot, I think, man, I guess nobody else would get the ball if you took the amount of shots that I think you should take, but she has such a great shot.
But one of your keys to the game for West Virginia was share the ball. And for Watson, or for Harrison, you'd like to see her be a little more selfish, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely, especially on a night when you get the feeling that, hey, everyone's not on the top of their game yet in terms of finding the bottom of the net. Where are these points going to come from? And sometimes you got to take it into your own hands.
All Jordan Harrison there. She went coast to coast and fell into the camera row.
But the tough thing is, and I think West Virginia also did this last year, I never found that consistency with who is my shooter, who, I mean, right. You know J.J. Quinerly is. Harrison would come up with a three when they needed to, but they never found that consistent three-point shooter each time where I'm penetrating, you're going to hit this three. We're definitely going to hit a wide-open three here. I mean, they have to find that consistency, and I think so far you're starting to see glimpses of that, especially I thought Sydney Shaw has done a great job coming off the bench and able to find her rhythm.
Harrison's been in a rhythm all night long. Last year, she was an 81% free throw shooter, 43, so she's hit from the line when you need her to hit from the line. But you're right, West Virginia looking for that person in clutch situations, the money person you can go to. The longtime West Virginia fans would say they're basically looking for their Deshaun Butler.
Exactly. And I mean, and they have it with J.J. Quinerly. But when teams start to focus on her this year, you've got to have somebody else that is your go-to shot maker. And that's something that I don't think they really had or established last year.
Quinerly says that's the next step to be that elite three-point shooter. And Mark Kellogg said in shoot-around that really isn't so much with her skill at it, it's just the mentality of taking that three first rather than maybe looking to cut to the basket in some situations. Towson all of a sudden flustered on offense. Jakite hands it off. And a turnover. West Virginia had the steal, but the shot clock violation committed first. West Virginia did double the work, and you only get one of the results. But
Yeah,
still, we'll take this.
That one was tough. Chicken or the egg, what came first? That was very, very tough. Either way, that's a success for West Virginia defensively.
You've got a Towson team now that looks like their timing is off. Their recognition of that shot clock and how low it gets is gone. And Sydney Shaw turns it over and then ties it up. The arrow gives it to Towson. Meg, what's that like when you get in a situation like that, maybe the fog of war, and all of a sudden your inside clock that you were leaning on to tell you where you were in that shot clock, when that kind of goes away?
It doesn't. I mean, I guess, you kind of you have to keep playing through things. I think they have that mentality. Jordan Harrison, she wasn't thinking about the shot clock at that moment. She saw steal first. So that kind of mentality is what West Virginia bases it off of. I mean, just keep playing defense until you hear that horn.
West Virginia, an 11-point lead on Towson late first quarter. Sharia Baines out of Philadelphia has her pocket pick, poked loose by Woodley. Harrison comes up with it to the rack. She's fouled. And shaken up at the end of the play, Haiti Lee got the worst of that. Haiti Lee, excuse me, I've been calling her Lee all night long. It's Haiti Lee. Attention now on her right leg, right ankle.
Yeah, right away you kind of saw her face grimace. Something
didn't feel right. An appreciative Coliseum crowd gives her a round of applause. Really nice to see this program, women's sports in general, get the attention that this team is starting to get, and the crowd shows it tonight, Meg.
No, absolutely. This is incredible to see. I mean, the lower bowl looks wonderful. Such a great reception for these girls who, I mean, they played so hard last year. And I think that was such a building block for what they're going to continue to do with this program. And, and as I was reviewing notes and looking at things, I kept saying, man, Coach Kellogg's only in his second year. I mean, look at how quickly he's been able to do things here and build such a great program that's been talked about. And certainly the way they played Iowa.
They won some hearts nationally, and they won some hearts locally. And again, if you were at home games last year, this team would win, and they take the victory lap around the court and thank the fans that were here. An easy team to get behind if you're a West Virginia fan. A.J. Jenkins, nice dish inside. Bristol, turn around off the window. Deja vu for Deja Bristol. Mountaineer lead trimmed to 11. Harrison on the nice pass from Shaw. Final minute of the second quarter. 36-point first half. Not bad. West Virginia would like to add to it. Touch for Jordan Thomas. Shot clock at 5. Harrison off the pick to the rack. Harrison the scoop off the iron for Jordan Harrison. And how about this first half? 18 for Jordan Harrison in the first half. Carrying West Virginia on her back. And the Mountaineers will get the ball back with half a minute to play in the quarter. Ten turnovers for Towson this quarter. And they get it back. Very small difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So West Virginia can melt this just about all the way down to 0. Again, with 2 fouls, no J.J. Quinerly on the floor. Good rehearsal for the Mountaineers to see who takes the shot if she's unavailable. It looks like it's going to be Harrison. Why not? Off the iron, doesn't get the roll. Ball's gathered in by Towson. They can't get a shot away. And West Virginia has a 13-point lead over the Towson Tigers at the half. A 20-win season a year ago for Towson. And they came in, and as Meg Bolger said, they very much have seized the opportunity in front of them tonight. They played really, really hard in this first half. And West Virginia only in the back half of the second quarter able to find some separation on Towson. 18 points.
And then they're completely under control and all about shot selection on the other side of the floor. So really never see some team that's out of control. They're always very much in control, and I'm very anxious to see the adjustments made here in the second.
It's the MO of this team. Those are the letters I was looking for. Wrong letters on the alphabet soup from earlier.
Hey, it's the first game, Eric.
Nice tip from Jordan Harrison. Quinerly whips it around. Some space, handoff. Watson, and it's whistled off. Offensive foul. J.J. Quinerly with the offensive foul. 2 fouls in the first half. She spent a lot of time on the bench and picks up a third right here. Boy, not a lot of contact on that.
You know what? I'm going to give Bristol the credit for understanding the assignment, fall back. I mean, I thought J.J., did a great job of coming to a jump stop.
India Johnson had a huge first half for Towson. A 3 missed. Samaya Turner can't connect. Sydney Shaw back the other way. Dish. Quinerly too strong. Towson gets it back, and West Virginia just not finding the sink early on.
You know, and this is just going to be, this is not who J.J. Quinerly is. This is just a good, healthy reminder for her that she has a target on her back now. You can't put up the numbers that she has last year, the recognition that she gained, and not expect this year to come in with everyone focusing on you. So this will be a good challenge for her to work through some of these frustration early in non-conference play, because it's only going to get worse when she battle in conference. It's going to rise the level of everyone else around her as well. And you can't sit back and watch JJ to take over. You got to rise up too.
How many open shots did you have in the Big East back in the day?
Ooh,
not a ton.
Not a ton. Not a ton. After my sophomore year, there was not a ton.
And I think that's what J.J. Quinerly is going to have. We saw that from her last year, creating a lot of 20-point games in situations where she had to work for those 20.
Oh, absolutely. And she's so effective off the dribble. But what I think this is going to really have to teach her to do is learn to come off of screens, learn to hit that deep ball, learn to read screens. Am I flaring, am I curling? Because not all of it is going to come off of the dribble.
Kyle Watson, meanwhile, just became about the 3rd West Virginia player that's landed in either the dance team or in Camera Row down there. West Virginia players, they almost need the crash pads that volleyball has behind the court there. A little bit of, well, she ran out of room. Jordan Harrison stepped on the end line, trying to run the baseline.
Yeah, Towson's done a really nice job this entire game of taking away that baseline. Jordan Harrison loves to drive baseline and dish to that opposite corner, and there haven't been too many opportunities to do that.
And Harrison picks up maybe a frustration foul. If you're just joining us, Towson playing without their best player, Patricia Anumba. Our head coach, Laura Harper, said to us earlier this week, it's her year, it's her turn, but apparently she's going to have to wait a little longer for her turn. She averaged 14 points a game last year to lead the team, not in the lineup tonight. Out with an injury. Lob inside, deflected away. Towson trying to go in to Haiti Lay. Meanwhile, Blackson had a block earlier, deflects that one. 13 times last year, Kylie Blackson had a block, and I think that's what she does best. She disrupts things inside.
Yeah, you're talking about volleyball. She plays it perfectly. Her timing is so great, very effective with her long arms underneath.
Great piece about her in the local paper this week from Bob Herzl. Blackson, a guard earlier in her career, had growth spurt in high school, and then because of that, then you're a big all of a sudden, but you still have those ball handling skills of a guard.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of times it's kind of reversed, and you lose the opportunity to become a ball handler when you're that young.
Quinerly needs something to fall to heat it up. Watson, same could be said there, doesn't get it here. Mountaineers grinding out a 13-point advantage. 7.5, or inside 7.5 to play in the third. Towson at 20 and 11 last year, 11 and 7 in their conference. Mountaineers 25 and 6, 25 and 8, 12 and 6 in the league, in the Big 12. Off the Turner miss, a scrum and a kick. Goes back to West Virginia.
I'll tell you what, Turner is tough. She split Kaya Watson and Harrison completely under control, strong to the basket, just misses it, but then still able to even kind of make an attempt to get her own rebound.
Shaw having a solid Mountaineer debut. Harrison, a good opening night. Quinerly wide open, bam! The three she needed, the three the Mountaineers needed. That's JJ's first of the night, 1 of 5 otherwise from 3. A collective sigh of relief, I think, in the Coliseum.
Yeah, there's a huge breeze that just went by from that side because that was a great job of Jordan Harrison, again, drawing 3 defenders and able to find open, wide open Quinerly in the corner.
Deja Bristol runs it down. Time running down to the shot clock. Baines has to hurry and doesn't see the shot clock. A second shot clock violation tonight forced by West Virginia.
Just a great job, Jordan Harrison. Just a slight shot fake. You draw 3 defenders. And I can understand why Towson went in and helped in on Harrison with the way Quinerly has been shooting tonight. But you got to imagine that sooner or later she's going to knock that down.
Can't connect the back half of the give and go with Watson. Towson back the other way. Johnson runs baseline, coughs it up, gets it back. Bristol, the Haiti lay, blocked by Kyle Watson. And an offensive foul against I'm gonna call that against Towson. I didn't see the number on that.
Yeah, trying to...
Oh, they go lay on that. I saw the 1 and the 4. Or I thought it was a 4, and I thought it was Blackson, but it was 6. It was 1 and 5.
Yeah, Kaya Watson just playing extremely tough. Was not even up the lane on that high-low action, but really did a great job of adjusting her body.
Wide open 3, Blackston. Left it short. Harrison digs it out to a cutting Blackston. Draws the contact on a step back in the lane.
Great job of Blackston. Off of her own miss, continues to move, sees that her teammate is stuck, doesn't stand on the perimeter. A lot of times players just kind of stand on the perimeter and think they're open. Great job of finding that wide open middle lane and continuing on and getting the opportunity for the N1.
No look now, biggest lead of the night for West Virginia. The Mountaineers finding some rhythm. Laura Harper digging into her bench and maybe trying to find some answers as she goes to Mason Marchbanks for the first time tonight.
And for the Mountaineers, it just feels like there's rhythm in spurts. You know, it's a good 2 or 3 minutes here, and then you kind of scratch your head again. They're still just working, and I like that. And I think Coach Kellogg understands that with newcomers in the first game of the year. You're still working on all of that stuff. If they came out and played extremely well tonight and looked perfect, you'd say, oh, geez, that might make me worry too.
Lay maybe a push off to the corner and a 3 from Jakite. Aminata Jakite. A big shot for Towson. Watson to try to answer. You feel like with Watson, if one had fallen for her at some point tonight, she gets into rhythm. Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, and she hasn't taken bad shots. All of the shots she has taken have been open, and you want her to take those.
Shot clock already at 10. Lay gets it in. And the finish from Jakite. We've not seen a lot from Jakite since the first half. Quinerly under the basket. Acrobatic move, and she draws the contact. West Virginia's lead down to 13. The Mountaineers trying to grind one out on opening night at the WVU Coliseum. We all got to shoot the ball. That's what we're learning from Laura Harper, and I like how she said that. It's a 13-point game. Not out of this by any stretch with a quarter and a half to go. No, absolutely not. And you got to love the way that this team has been playing. You have to capitalize on these moments. Quinerly not playing great. You think Coach Harper's thinking, if we're holding Quinerly to this many points at this stage in the game, and you told me that before the game, I'd say, okay, well, we're in this ball game. Plenty of time to be played there.
to be played here. So Towson just needs to clean this up. I think West Virginia is showing the press here that they haven't shown here in this second half yet. We'll see how Towson can respond.
The two freebies, just 9 points now for Quinerly. She deflects that one. Riviere with a steal and finishing from the corner. Sydney Shaw buries another one. 14 points for Shaw in her Mountaineer debut. Another deflection from Quinerly, but this time it was out of bounds.
Great extra pass there from Harrison, finding Shaw just ready, set, just a pure three-point shooter. Three-point shooters are ready to let it fly at any moment, and you can see that in her.
Mountaineers 11 of 13 at the free throw line. That's helping the cause. West Virginia with just 1-3 in the first quarter. Since then, they have hit 5. So that's warming up a little bit for the Mountaineers. 3 of those from Sydney Shaw. Fans make some noise. Towson able to get the ball in. Haiti Lee. Marchbanks. CeCe Riviere digs it out. West Virginia back in transition. Harrison almost lost the dribble. Shaw finds the bottom of the cup. Timeout Towson. Shaw getting hot.
Not take much time when she gets that ball, and she's really been feeling it in the Coliseum tonight.
A little slow start for Shaw, but she's more than doubled her season average in last year at Auburn. And a hustle from Sydney Shaw there to knock it into Quinerly. Can't finish. Ball still tipped loose. I believe they called a floor foul on... Is that Quinerly that picks up the foul, or am I... Is Harrison. So the third for Harrison. West Virginia starting to get into some serious foul trouble. Harrison with 3 to join Quinerly with 3. Jakite through traffic. Riviere with a rebound for West Virginia. And a transition foul. India Johnston picks it up.
You see the difference with this Mountaineer rotation, going back in 2-3, forcing Towson to kind of come into the paint a little out of control, take some outside shots, and try to dominate the boards and get out in transition with Shaw, Quinerly, and Harrison.
That's something that I don't think can be overstated enough. We were talking about this. You heard the audio earlier from Laura Harper. At the time, it was just a 13-point game, and they're doing it without their leading scorer, Patricia Anumba.
Yeah, that's such a great point, Eric. You're exactly right about that. I mean, coming in as the Coastal Athletic Association first team, I mean, all the accolades, leading scorer, 14 points a game last year. I mean, she's their leader. And to come in and fight the way that they are tonight without her is absolutely incredible, and you're right, cannot be understated.
Harrison for 20. Announcer's jinx right there, 19. First point of the second half. Riviere hoists one. CeCe Riviere buries it from long distance. The Paris native, not quite from across the ocean, but from pretty deep nonetheless.
Ooh la la. I mean, that's one of those moments when everyone can't help but crack a smile.
Absolutely.
You gotta love it for that kid.
Wee. Off the tip from Bristol. Here comes Harrison. Quinerly wide open. Too strong. Dug out by Thomas. Back to the rack, and she draws the contact.
Jordan Thomas has had a solid night around the rim in terms of making moves, being tough and strong with the basketball. The The only run-in she has had is not being able to square up, use that glass, and really go strong up with the basketball, but really showing some signs of what she can do underneath.
Showing signs of what she can do from the free throw line. And we've not hit on this in a while, Meg, but this lead is at 26 for West Virginia, their biggest of the night.
Yeah, I glanced, and I'm just not good at math, and I thought Eric's going to say what the lead is here eventually. I knew when it was 13.
Meg, I'm not good at math
And
either.
then-
That's why I talk for a living. There's a reason we're drawn to stuff like this. There's a reason people like Joe Mitchin are able to do the math. He's got his shoes off, counting on his fingers and toes to let us know that the Mountaineers have a 21-7 edge in the third quarter. See, we can't count that on our own. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you, my friend. Leads at 27 now. See, I did that math. Towson cuts into it on a bucket from Sharia Baines. High school teammates of Hannah Hidalgo. The Notre Dame standout. J.J. Quinerly from three again. There's that mindset. She got it to fall off the cookie shelf.
Man.
There's the steal from Quinerly. 5 in a row from J.J. Quinerly.
And the crowd completely behind her, wants her to feel supported and good, because it's just been one of those nights, and those are going to happen, but starting to put it together better late than never.
23rd turnover for Towson, West Virginia averaged opponents into 23+ last season. Final minute of the quarter, the lead back to 30 for West Virginia, their biggest of the night. Time running low on the shot clock. Baines forces it up. Back to West Virginia. What a sequence here from Quinerly.
Yeah, and this is the J.J. Quinerly that West Virginia fans are used to. You get a gift there from the back of the rim, but she doesn't stop. That's what I love about this player. She does it on both ends. She is so dominant on the defensive end and dominant on the offensive end. Love to see her not quitting despite the way this game has gone.
Riviere can't connect through contact. It's on the floor, tied up, and Towson has the arrow, and now a lot to untangle. The people to help off the floor and the subsequent mopping that'll come with it. Now, how big is it for West Virginia to get that kind of a run from J.J. Quinerly, where 5 points happen just like that?
Yeah, and what you want to see is J.J.'s going to have those opportunities. She's finally getting on a run, but you want to see those other players now not stand and watch her. Now everyone contribute. Let's put it all together.
Shot clock dark for Towson as Jordan Wakefield gets it into the front court. Samaya Turner from the left corner. Hello. Final 10 seconds. Quinerly to the hole. Reverse layup. Thomas trying to clean it up, and she's fouled. What a look from J.J. Quinerly. And coming up a little bit of a limp here. She went also into that front row of camera folk. Looks to be okay.
Yeah, just readjusting her shoe there, but again, Jordan Thomas doing a nice job of establishing presence underneath, grabbing that offensive rebound, and she's going to put it together here, but showing some really, really great things down low.
About 5 to 10 feet from the court all around, you need to have like the splash zone at SeaWorld. You know, you may get involved in the action.
Right.
You've seen multiple West Virginia players into the seats, into that camera row.
You got to pay attention at all times.
Yeah, have your head on a swivel. Thomas makes the back half. Can Towson find something at the buzzer? They didn't get her way. West Virginia's lead is 28. A strong third quarter for the Mountaineers. Can they put the finishing touches on it after this? From the WVU Coliseum.
It's been awesome. 11 in Newborn is certainly different, but it's been incredible. I wish I could blame my voice on them, but I can't. But I'll tell Nola it's her fault anyways.
Meg has been a gamer tonight. I know she was sick last week, and you hear some of that in her voice tonight, but she is fighting through it like the tough Meg Baldry I remember from back in the day. There's the offensive foul on West Virginia that wipes off the Jordan Thomas bucket.
Yeah, that's tough.
Not as tough as being sick with a 3.5-month-old, but still tough.
That's much tougher. I will admit that. Now that I'm close to 40, that's such a close call. It's a great dish though. Jordan Thomas with the finish, but Man, the way the calls that JJ's been getting, I know she didn't like that one. It was so close, though.
Deflection from Jordan Harrison, who's been held at just 1 point this half, but she's just 3 off her career best. And a 10-second whistle. So West Virginia gets it back at midcourt. Turnover number 24 for Towson tonight. Mountaineers with 3 in double figures. We mentioned Harrison with 19 leading the way. Quinerly with 14 is heated up. And Harrison will have a chance to go to the line to crack that 20-point threshold.
Yeah, Harrison's done an incredible job tonight, and this is a good lesson for the entire West Virginia team. When JJ isn't scoring, teams are always focused on her. When she's not going to have those 20, 25-point nights, as I mentioned before, you have an opportunity now. You need to start making plays. Then the Towson defense, or whoever you're playing, that defense cannot cheat. They can't double down. They have to play you honest. So it's a very good lesson for the entire team to kind of learn how to work without JJ in there scoring in bunches as she usually does.
Well, does she get an assist for this? Because Jordan is cleaning the floor now. She's doing a bit of everything. Some debris on the floor, so helping the mop crew.
That speaks to her character more than anything. She is such a sweet girl off the court.
She's going to have her chance to get up into the scoring ranks at WVU. Oh, that was some sort of, the officials bring that over to us, and that's some sort of metal piece off of something. That's a great shot you're getting right there. We're getting you up close to the action. Harrison with 20 after nailing the free throw. Can it be 21? Sure can. Back to 30. West Virginia on top. Almost stripped by Sydney Woodley. India Johnson in the front court. West Virginia defense looks like they've got some new life here in this quarter.
Yeah, they have. And as you mentioned before, so many different rotations, so many different opportunities to get new faces in there, fresh legs to still press. And especially with this lineup, you see them still pressing, dropping back, being aggressive.
First appearance from Cadence Hadley for Towson. She just had the ball stripped. Off the pick, Shaw goes to the corner. Riviere, too strong. Sharia Baines looks inside. Towson trying to get something going in the second half from mid-range. Tipped out. In transition. Shaw will keep it. Off the iron short. Towson has been held to just 12 points this second half. Outscored by West Virginia 29-12 since the intermission. For a career high. And the timeout will bring Destiny Agubata into the mix for West Virginia. She replaces Sydney Shaw. For the Mountaineer debut of the freshman from Moreno Valley, California. Early enrollee at West Virginia, a four-star prospect. And an appreciative round of applause for Sydney Shaw in her Mountaineer debut.
Yeah, and a great job from Sydney Shaw. Really see that this wasn't just a lucky night for her. You can really see that she is a pure shooter.
I think she defined her role in this team and the value that she'll provide. And how about the value from Agubata? Destiny Agubata comes away with the theft. Seems like the perfect initiation for a Mountaineer. Harrison thinking pass first. Woodley picks up the contact. We're talking about Harrison having a chance to rise up the scoring ranks at West Virginia. JJ Quinerly is in 21st place right now, over 1,300 points in her Mountaineer career. She's got a really strong chance to move into the top 10. Needs 263 to do that. Tirza Moore, newly into the game with a nice finish.
Catch them sleeping right on that weak side block. They run that play a lot with Kyle Watson, and it works a lot of the time, and I love that Tirza Moore right off the bench into the game.
Lay too strong and contact on the floor. Moore now the 8th different scorer for West Virginia in the contest. You're talking about points. JJ Quinerly not all that far away from the top 10 as Danelle Arigbabu replaces Jordan Thomas. I learned this today. Armeg Bulger, number 8 on the all-time list in points at West Virginia. Number 7, her sister Kate.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell her that if she doesn't know.
Thanksgiving's approaching.
You're right. Exactly. That's
Might
great.
be conversation.
I was going to say, that's great over turkey.
I did not realize
I'll have
that.
to get how many shot attempts she had. Because if
There
I
you
get
go.
it less shot attempts, then it's better.
This is turning into a research project
Yeah,
now.
I'll find a way.
Harrison's done that all night. Dishes it to Agubata. Good adjustment from Woodley. Off the pick. 5 to shoot. Agubata drains it. A steal of 3. Destiny Agubata fitting right in.
You'd love that. And this late in the game, getting these minutes, you come in, she is absolutely prepared. She's focused. You can tell that she is determined on each end of the floor.
So Sydney Woodley. Huge 3 from Woodley off the bench for West Virginia. And a timeout, Towson. 10 different scorers have contributed for the Mountaineers tonight. They lead it by 38 at the WVU Coliseum. Coming up Saturday, Niagara coming into the WVU Coliseum as the Mountaineers open the season with a 6-game homestand and then the backyard brawl next week before SEC Texas A&M comes to town. SEC Big 12 matchup. 10 seconds on Towson. Good defense from Jordan Harrison to force the 10-second violation.
Yeah, West Virginia's had a few of those tonight. And it just amazes me. Jordan Harrison, she just never quit. She played the most minutes out of all of her teammates last year and already showing what she can do tonight. I mean, it's like she never gets tired.
And she led the team with 1,055 minutes. One of the team leaders and the conference leaders in steals. And she has picked up right where she left off. Really watching her, it's kind of like the next chapter of the same book. Step back mid-range, and Harrison a new career best. 23 for Harrison.
And I really love, you've seen her game grow as she's going to get another steal.
And a foul in transition. Sharia Baines.
Yeah.
It's her 4th foul.
Sometimes
Not a
that's
ton
smart. Baines said, you know what, please just slow down.
Not a ton of
come on back
contact
here.
either, really.
There's been a few of those, I'd say, tonight. A couple of JJ Quinerly's charges I'd like to see back, and just there's 2 that stick out.
That foul's like drawing that pass interference when you know you're going to give up 6.
Yeah, why not?
West Virginia tried to slip it into Tirza Moore. We saw Tirza Moore in flashes last year, Meg. Really a lot of things in her toolbox that can help this team.
Oh, no doubt. I thought that she grew as a player. When you can watch a player from the start to the finish of a game and then a season continuously get better, you know, this next year is a huge step for her because she needs to start putting those minutes together, and she'll really start to play, you know, hopefully some 17, 20 minutes for this team as opposed to the 10 or so she was getting last year.
Nice handoff inside. A.J. Jenkins with the finish for Towson.
I think that's the biggest difference with this West Virginia team this year. You're seeing 4 or 5 different post players underneath, sometimes playing 2 at a time, not that 4 out or 5 out guard. So really interesting to see when these rotations start to click, what it's going to look like.
Agubata misses the heat check. Woodley, why not? Can't hit that one. And Moore throws it off of a defender, but it has to wait a long time to get out of bounds. I think this is going to be a West Virginia team where you can't really look at the three-point percentage so much as you look at the threes that they've made as a successful indicator of what kind of team this wants to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they took too many threes than they usually take tonight, but that's also what Towson was giving them. Most of these threes are wide open.
Right.
So they just weren't shooting the ball particularly well tonight, but most of these threes were good shots.
Harrison leaves for probably the final time tonight. Sydney Shaw with a pull-up. Her Mountaineer debut not finished.
Sydney Shaw showing what she can do in that mid-range game, but that's what I was most impressed with Jordan Harrison tonight. She scored at all three levels of the basketball game. I mean, she showed her mid-range, she showed her deep three, she showed what she can do in transition, getting to the rim. I mean, she just showed all facets of the game.
Meanwhile, not a lot there for Towson, just 14 points this half. India Johnson with a miss. Here's Zion Nugent, handoff inside, Moore with a contact. She'll shoot a pair. A lot more options for Mark Kellogg. And the stew may take a little longer to cook this year than what we saw last year, but that doesn't mean it's going to be as good, if not better, than what we saw last year.
No, absolutely. I think there's just more ingredients this year. They have a lot more post play. They have pronounced and defined shooting guards. You have Jordan Harrison, Quinerly to the mix. I mean, there's just a lot of newcomers and a lot of players that were hurt last year.
A.J. Jenkins is fouled out as Moore misses the freebie.
So there's just a lot of different aspects to this rotation, and I do not envy that job of putting that together because there's so many different avenues of how you want to play that they can go.
Second a miss, Nugent runs it down. Dump from Shaw, Moore off the window. Here's a Moore, a spark off the bench for West Virginia. Again, they've got 11 scores tonight. And this has been a hallmark of what we saw last year from West Virginia. They may not look clean early on, but you look up all of a sudden and they've got a 43-point advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And the second half, I mean, completely different than the first. But again, I never thought that they showed a true rhythm where they never stopped. It's still come in bunches, but I think that is due to the part that they're rotating a lot of girls in and out. So you're not really seeing what five on the floor can do for an extended period of time. I really like the way that Coach Kellogg is rotating these girls, really able to see different dynamics and what everyone can bring.
Shoved ahead for Jakite. Inside, Deja Bristol. And she can't connect. Again, nothing falling for Towson in this half. Not a lot in this quarter. It was back to Towson. West Virginia defense has been strong, holding Towson to just 14 points this quarter. Scoring drought of over 2 minutes. India Johnson leaves for Towson. Remember, they're doing this without their best player, Patricia Anumba, not on the trip. And they did what you said in the beginning of our show, the keys to the game for Towson. You said seize the opportunity. They really played a strong first half of basketball before West Virginia just outgunned them.
Absolutely. And you really wanted to see what kind of Towson team is this. And I think they have so much to work with. I think that Coach Harper, of course, there's going to be, a lot of film that you're learning from, but there was a lot of bright spots from this Towson team as they go back into the CAA. So lots to learn from, but as you mentioned, without your leading scorer and your best player, I thought they did a great job, but West Virginia just overpowered them here in the second half.
West Virginia's emptied the bench. Shayla Mosbury in, and the Turk, the freshman, Defna Adela, is in the ball game as Towson hits the 30 turnover threshold. Adela, someone they're very high on, only 17-year-old on Turkey's U20 national team. A good international get for Mark Kellogg. Gets the rebound here off the Mosbury miss. Off the feed, Arik Babu fouled inside.
That was one I was kind of waiting. How long are they going to let them do that? A couple more seconds? Because that foul came immediately, but kind of took a little while for that whistle.
At the line for West Virginia,
Danelle Babu, a fan favorite from last year. Hard-nosed, tough player. Drains the free throw. She averaged 11 minutes a game in 27 games, and she became a player for Mark Kellogg that the more he put her in, the more he had trouble taking her off the floor.
No, you're absolutely right. And she had a team high, 57% from the field. And probably didn't take a ton of shots, but
no,
when you're going to be effective when you do, you know, as long as you come in and give quality good minutes, and I don't recognize that you're hurting a team, those are great minutes that you're getting from your 9th or 10th player on the bench.
Mountaineers with a comfortable lead in their opener, number 16 of the country. Jordan Wakefield knocks one down from the free throw line. The opener really that you'd want for West Virginia, because the Mountaineers flexed their muscles, they got everybody in, but there are definitely some things to work on, and we definitely have not seen this team's best basketball yet.
No, not even close. I mean, certainly Coach Kellogg could have thought, nope, I'm keeping these starters in. I'll do 1 or 2 man rotation at a time. They're going to work through this. They're going to do this. But instead, he gave opportunities. He worked out different rotation, who plays well with who, what defense can we run here, what are we doing offensively when this group's in. And those are all those analytics that these coaches, they spend a lot of hours and times figuring out, those assistant coaches and Coach Kellogg that spend hours over at this practice facility. So that is a job I do not envy, but they allowed everyone to produce and show what they can do, and you got to love that.
Sharia Baines is fouled out. Second Towson player to do so. Zion Nugent buries the free throw. And the Nuge stretches the lead to 43. Towson picked to finish 3rd in the Coastal Athletic Association. And again, we didn't even see their best player, Patricia Anumba, averaging 14 points a game. Certainly hope she gets healthy. A consensus all first team all conference pick. Nugent from the corner, he looked good off the iron, and Alric Babu ties it up. Towson's got the arrow.
And we talk about Coach Kellogg only being in his 2nd season. Laura Harper's only in her 3rd. So there is so much progress to be made on this Towson team. You see the talent, you see how well they're coached, how hard they play.
Harper played for that 2006 national championship team, Maryland, coached by Brenda Fries. They keep in touch a lot. Says Coach Fries inspires her to empower the players to be their best. And she's a player's coach because of Coach Fries. She told us at the shoot-around.
Yeah, and you got to love Towson. Not afraid for a challenge. West Virginia now, Maryland in a couple of games, so they're going to be tested again.
Towson, a game opponent tonight. West Virginia rose to the challenge to travel here. Maybe the final possession tonight for the Towson Tigers. Again, they play at George Mason Saturday at 3. West Virginia at home Saturday, part of a season-opening 6-game homestand. Niagara, the opponent. Ball tipped by Agubata. Mosberry, and a lot of contact between Mosberry and Jordan Wakefield.
Gotta love it. Mosberry, 17 seconds on the clock. No quit. Still battling. I mean, you gotta savor every second, every minute that you get the opportunity to step on the floor, especially after being injured last year. That's great for her.
Wakefield picks up the foul. She's a transfer from George Mason, so she'll see her former team Saturday. How about this? This Towson schedule includes 3 teams from which they currently have players. So there are 3 players that will see their former teams this season.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're gonna show up for those games.
That's the way the age we're living in now.
That's, yeah, exactly right. I mean,
first Mountaineer points for Mosberry. Misses the back half. Gets the rebound. And the Mountaineers can dribble this one out. 25 wins last year for Mark Kellogg and the West Virginia Mountaineers. And they get their 2024-2025 campaign started on the right foot as the crowd rises to their feet. The horn sounds, the musket fires, and West Virginia comes away with an 85-41 win over Towson. A happy opening night from the WVU Coliseum.